So here at BTP, I'm going to show you a couple quick variations of the push-up. We're going to start with the standard one, so it's going to be the military, hands under the shoulders. Then we're going to go narrow grip. We can go a little bit into diamond grip, wide grip as well, and then with feet and hands elevated. So there's obviously a ton more variations, but we're just going to go over those quick ones just for this video. Main thing when we're worried about is that core staying in that neutral position, right? So we don't want to let the hips drop. We don't want them to pike up unless that's intentionally maintaining that kind of neutral spine throughout. So your standard push-up, if I do it facing you, right? So if you lay on the ground, hands under the shoulders, right? From here, chin stays tucked, toes curled under, push up, and then come back down. Okay, from here again, push up, come back down. So your chest and your nose, in theory, should be coming down at the same time. If your head is coming down first and your chest is nowhere near the ground, odds are you're not quite doing it right, or you're letting your head drop. So from the side view, right, I start at the bottom, hands tucked under the shoulders, elbows out a bit to the side, push up, and then come down. So my chin and my chest, or my nose and my chest are coming down at the same time. So I'm not touching down this way. I'm also not dropping down. That's a different exercise altogether. So we want to make sure that the spine stays nice and neutral. Now, other variation, elbow stays tucked in. So if this was a wide position, so in line with the camera, if this would be your standard push-up, okay, elbows tucked in, is going to put the emphasis a little bit more on the triceps. And again, from the side, elbows in, okay, and down, and coming out. Now, easy way to modify it or make it a little bit easier is just going off the knees. So if I anchor off from the knees, it's going to look like that, whether the elbows are coming out or elbows tucked in on the side. Okay. Now, for those of you with a little bit that have some wrist issues, what you can do is kind of cup your hand a little bit on the ground so that there's going to be a little bit of airspace underneath the palm of your hand. Another way that you can think of it as you're pushing the floor away from you rather than coming up. So if I'm consciously holding my body and I'm thinking of pushing the ground away from me, it's going to help keep your body a little bit more in line. And the intention is going to be to actually do the press, right, as it would be with a bench press or something like that, versus just getting up however you can, okay? So another variation is going to be using a step. So you can use a step or a bar or a bench, whatever you have available for you. If you want to make it easier, just bring your hands up on the bench. Okay, so we are bringing ourselves a little more upright, okay, rather than a parallel position to the ground where you feel the most load. Or if you want to work a little bit more on upper, okay, you elevate your feet. You come down and you come up. So now in this case, if your chin is tucked, your head should still make it down before your chest. If your chest makes it down, then that means you let go of your core. So you come down, come up. The other variation again, like I mentioned, hands a little bit wider. So this is going to force a little bit more of the chest to work, a little bit less of the triceps to work. So standard one, elbows tucked in, arms out wide, feet elevated, and hands elevated. So those are just a couple quick variations. I'll do 3 of each, just so you can see kind of the transitional difference. I'm also going to do them from the side, so you can see the side angle. So first one, your standard push-up. You start on the bottom, hands under the shoulders, press up, come down. Okay, from here, we take those elbows, we tuck them in. This is going to be more of tricep emphasis, narrow. Okay, from here, some people do the diamond push-ups, right? So you just come in here and press up that way. That's going to force the triceps to work even more than the narrow push-ups, but all you do basically is just bring your hands in front of you into a diamond. And from there, wide grip. Yeah. And again, variations with the step. can do all 3 variations with hands elevated, or switch to this side and do feet elevated. So lifting your feet up higher is going to turn it a bit more into a pike push-up, which you'll see in another video. It shifts a bit more of the load to the upper pecs, if you want to kind of think of it that way. But basically, with a lift this small, it's not going to be a huge difference, but it's a slight variation. And you have a lot of different fibers that pull in different directions, so the upper body kind of demands a lot of different variation. So give those a shot.